Hello everyone, my name is Likit and today I'm presenting on the topic switch versus toggle in Android, differences and examples. In this video, we'll cover the key concept between these two UI widgets, their differences, practical examples and more. Let us now get started. Moving on, here we will explore the fundamental differences between switch and toggle button, the two core widgets for handling binary states in Android development. At their core, both extend the compound button class, providing a simple two-state interface. But why distinguish between them? Well, their visual styles and interactions make a big difference in modern UI UX design. For instance, one feels more like a classic button, while the other mimics a physical switch for better touch intuitiveness. For example, here in this image, you can see this is a toggle, while this is a switch. Moving on, let us understand the toggle button. This is an older, more traditional widget, commonly used in earlier Android versions for binary controls. It inherits from compound button, which handles the checked and unchecked states seamlessly. Visually, it appears as a standard button that changes based on its state often, showing on or off text with a subtle indicator. The attributes include Android show text on and Android text off for customizing those labels, plus Android disable alpha for dimming when inactive. Interaction is straightforward and just tap to toggle, no drawing to toggle. There is no dragging involved. This is a here is a toggle button. The first one is a toggle on, while the second is a toggle off. The toggle button can also be used for light switching between light and dark modes. Let us now explore the modern Android switch. It is introduced in API level 14 to align with material design. It features a sliding thumb that glides along a track to show on or off states, giving a more tactile physical feel. Customization is a step up. You can tweak the thumb and track drawables, add color, and adjust padding for more refined and polished look. For interaction, it's flexible. Tap to toggle or drag the thumb for that satisfying slide. Some text labels like on or off are optional. Set Android show text to true if you want to show them. Here are some examples for label switch. Here the switch is on and here it is off. You can customize the colors as per your requirements. And here is a example of how the track and thumb works. There is a track and you can slide the switch button across. Key technical differences: switch versus toggle button. Understanding the code differences helps in selecting the correct widget for application design. Appearance: the toggle button is a button like block with text indicator, while switch is a slider with a distinct thumb and track. Interaction: the toggle button is a tap only, while the switch has both tap and drag option. Customization: the toggle button is limited, primarily focused on text, while switch can be customized to include more advanced styling of thumb, tracks, and add more colors. API support: toggle buttons is supported across all API levels, while switch 14 is only supported in API 14. While we can use switch compact for back compatibility or much older versions. The toggle button is best for simple legacy or custom toggle buttons, while a switch is best for modern UI, setting screens, and binary choices. Both these widgets share core state handling methods, making state management consistent regardless of how chosen visual style. First, the toggle button relies on a simple tab. The whole button responds, flipping the state and updating the text or indicator instantly. Second, the switch offers tap for a quick changes but shines with drag. Slide the thumb and you get the real-time virtual confirmation before releasing. This evolution prioritizes intuitive touch, reducing errors in fast-paced mobile users. This is the virtual interaction, virtual differences between both the toggle and switch. Now, in terms of use cases, stick with toggle button for legacy interactions or custom toggles, like play or pause in a music app or enabling bold text in a word processor. Think of how older apps, Android apps, use custom UI. We can use it for toggling shuffle modes in Spotify older versions. On the other hand, switch is ideal for modern settings. Think Wi-Fi or notifications. Like in Android settings app where you toggle Bluetooth or aeroplane mode for system-wide states. For real-world distinction, consider how apps like Facebook uses toggle buttons like and dislike. While modern fitness apps like Google Fit uses switches for enabling notifications or dark mode to provide that sliding feedback. Avoid misusing them. Don't use switches for distractive actions like deleting accounts. For the best practices, always add labels for accessibility like content descriptions for screen readers. Now, let us see how toggle and switch button can be implemented in Android Studio. First, this is a Android Studio application, and here, first we have to open a main activity.xml, and in here I'm using a linear layout. First, I'm taking a text view to show the state of the toggle button. Next, here is how we can implement a toggle button is in the XML file. First, we have to use ID name a toggle button with an ID. Next, we can give it some width and height according to the user preferences. Next, I am using some labels. Here, I am using text on to indicate that the toggle is on and text off to indicate the toggle is off. Next, for the switch, I am also using a switch. First, I am labeling it using ID. Then, it follows the same procedure using width and height. Next, I am labeling the switch with text called text label switch, and the check is false. What this check equals to false does it when we open the app by default, the switch will be in a false state, means off. And this is a main activity .kt. Here in this Kotlin file, first we initializes a toggle button, switch button, and a text view button. Next, under override function and on create, we take the toggle button, switch button, and text view button and link them with the find view by ID to link them with a main activity.xml. And next, we create a condition called set on checked change listener. And what this does it if the toggle is either on or off, it is checked on or checked off. The toggle on and toggle off is displayed in a text view. And next, switch button dot set on checked chain listener. What this does is when we check the switch on or off, it shows the state of the switch whether it is on or off. Let us run this and see the output we are getting. So here you can see this is our text view, and here there is a toggle and there is a switch. And as we have already discussed, toggle is just a binary. It is a component of a compound button. The toggle can only have toggle on and toggle off, while the switch indicates more futuristic modern design. We can also drag to turn the switch on or turn the switch off. As you can see here, the switch is off, and while I drag it, it is turned on. But the toggle is just a binary. The toggle holds a binary value or 0 or 1. We have to just click it to change the states. Future scope. Looking ahead, these widgets integrate well with Jetpack Compose, where you use composable functions for stateful toggles, separating UI from logic for cleaner code. In IoT, they're key for controlling devices like smart lights. You can even build custom toggles for branding or multi-states. For cross-platform apps, ensure consistency with iOS equivalences. We can also use custom toggles for advanced development, creating completely custom toggle widgets for unique branding or complex multi-state requirements. In conclusion, Switch is a modern default for Android device with its intuitive drag and material alignment. While toggle button suits backward compatibility, here are some key takeaways. Use Switch for API 14 plus UI 14 or above, while it leverages tap or drag for better UI and UX, and you can align with any design principles. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please mention them in the comments. Thank you.